Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Let's Play. Previous episode, I got a lot of very nice and helpful comments, so thank you everyone. But let's just get into the gameplay, shall we? So we set up our two main lines so far. We have our oil and coal. And so all the secondary industries are going to need power, and we don't want to put them all in the same town. And the way Borgs works is basically the power is distributed per town. So it looks like we're going to need to set up a coal or a power plant in each town and set up a secondary industry in each town. Well, each town that we want to put a secondary industry in. So that's going to be sawmill, steel mill, factory, I think. I guess we could probably put one in each corner since we have our oil refinery already. See how much money we make. This is actually the first oil train, I think. And there we go. 60k. Pretty good. Otherwise, I guess we should just keep on expanding. And yeah, we're not too short on money now. So let's get some more coal trains going since the coal is backing up at this station. So add 5 more there. And also this line over here needs to be doubled, so I'll just quickly do that. Alright, so looking at the industries, it does seem that it's just going to be the factory, sawmill, and steel mill for our other secondary industries. So next, let's just find another corner and pick one of those to serve. We could also start serving some goods from here, but not going to worry about that just yet. Let's check around here. Flynnville. So I guess, yeah, factories will take grain and livestock. They also take steel. So yeah, I guess we can start serving this factory here, so I suppose, or maybe the steel mill. It seems steel mill also takes coal as well, so that's going to be something to think about, whether we deliver the coal to the power plant or the steel mill separately, or if it even needs power. I'll have to see. You know what, I decided to just go ahead and we'll try delivering some iron ore and coal to this steel mill and see if it will produce steel, or if we have to deliver coal to both the steel mill and the power plant separately. So just test this. Build some tiny little trains to do that. Had to go a bit to get some iron ore, but we'll keep our eye on this and see if it can produce steel without needing power. Anyway, let's go back and check on our main stations. Seems that the coal has started to go down a little bit, but it's still up there, so I'm going to add one more train. And let's check on the oil as well. It should be doing pretty well. Yeah, so we got a few loads of oil waiting. So I guess we'll add 3 trains. I mean, just sort of eyeballing it. Not really too much thought going into how many trains to add. And once the trains do start completing the circuit, that will help deal with the amount of oil waiting. Alright, so next I'm going to build our tracks down into this corner. And I'm not going to split the line right off from next to this station, which would, that'd be the closest way. But instead, we'll go up and around over on this side. Because eventually, we'll have a distinction between the main line over here and this area will be part of a sideline. And we'll need room for a sideline hub, which will probably go in this nice flat area over here. Just build these tracks down somehow. It does seem like it'll be a little tricky. I guess I won't worry about that area too much just yet. I'll start down here. And just go around. And I guess we'll also go around this hill, because eventually the main line will also go up towards the rest of the map over there. Alright, just finished building those lines in that time lapse. And while that was happening, we can see our trains have finished delivering to this steel mill. So it seems that although the animation is playing, it does seem to need power to produce steel. So we will have to somehow divide the coal between the power plant and the steel mill. And that's something where logic might be useful. I mean, really across the whole map, we're going to have multiple power plants. So the question will be, given a particular coal mine, which power plant should it deliver it to? And with logic, we can sort of make the trains, do some fancy things, make the trains dynamically choose which coal mine or which power plant to drop their coal off at. But we'll see. Anyway, it seems we are doing pretty well on money. We've made our first £1 million. So let's go ahead and repair loan. So now we are back below $1 million. And it seems that we are still not keeping up with coal production. So let's go ahead and clone a few more trains. So one issue I'm having with making this is that my microphone cuts out sometimes. So some of the more awkward cuts in the video might be because my mic went out in the middle of the clip, so I just paused it and started filming again after. Yeah, mic issues, but I am getting a new computer, so hopefully that will fix the problem, so I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. Let's also go ahead and check on our oil. And that's doing decently as well, I guess. Do we have trains coming along? Seems there's not going to be another train for a while, so I'll just clone 2 of these. What the heck, got a third one as well. And let's see how many goods we're getting. So we're getting only 90 crates of goods, so that's kind of, considering the amount of oil, it does say there's 1,000 oil waiting, and there is a lot of coal waiting. So I'm not sure exactly how the rates are determined for how much gets converted each month, but we'll have to play around with that a little bit. And if we let's check on our operating profit. Ooh, nice. So I assume this was the peak that we were at the end of last episode. So still increasing steadily. Doesn't look like it was such a big peak anymore. Alright, so next, let's try and get some trains running to this corner of the map, and we will have to build a few stations for each of these. So this early into the game, because we're this early into the game, and because the trains are really long, 10 tiles long, I don't really feel any need to build really fancy stations, since the number of trains using them will be relatively low since they're so long and since it's so early in the game. Let's go ahead and connect these up though. However we can. Doesn't matter too much this early. Got a bridge there. And we'll also connect up the steel mill. These stations, I guess, can scoot these over a little bit just to give us some room to build our station over here. See if that's long enough. 7, 3 more. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And I'll just quickly connect these up. Just build along somewhat, just following the terrain a little bit. Train doesn't always work with us like right here, but try my best to follow it. Don't want to just terraform full mountains because that is, it's not as fun when you just demolish the terrain. Yeah, so there we go. And I feel like we're kind of getting to the point where we could start dividing things up into main lines and sidelines, even though it really is early in the game. But, I mean, the backbone hubs, sideline hubs, those are the things that I really enjoy building, so hopefully that'll be enjoyable for people to watch me build as I do my best to explain what's happening. But for now, okay, we have to connect this part as well. So I guess we can go up on this area instead. Yeah. Just split off. Yeah, so let's split off like this, I suppose. I guess we need that. And like that as well. A little bit of a short curve there. Deal with it later if it ever becomes a problem. And we can go down a little, scoot over a bit. Do that for the other track as well. Do a lot of terraforming there, but that's fine. And there we go. So here I'm just going to have a temporary flat junction. But these are a little bit tricky to signal. I mean, the easiest thing to do is just put a path-based signal on each entrance. But if you have a network with a whole lot of flat junctions, you also want to remove some of the signals on the exit. So since I have train length 10 trains, I would remove 10 tiles of space to make sure that no train can like stop at a random signal here and block this junction. But since I don't have a lot of flat junctions, you know, it's early, so it doesn't really matter, but that is a thing to consider. So it's actually easier to build junctions with bridges that don't jam, because flat junctions tend to jam a lot. Oh, and also these guys that I moved can't actually reach the steel mill anymore. So actually I'm just gonna redo this station and make it the same station. So it'll all be one big drop station there. So let's go ahead and find some coal mines to hook up to our new power plant drop over here. Okay. So we hooked up these three over here. We could set it up so those just alternated each time. But, we could connect these two over here. I think, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. We also have iron ore here. We could connect as well. We'll see. But that'll give us another place to put a sideline hub, I suppose, eventually. So let's go ahead. I guess, yeah, since they're next to each other, do feeders again. But probably shouldn't do every station as feeders since that gets a little repetitive. Alright. Just connect this up here. We can do the junction first, the fun part. Choose a bridge. Get over the two lines and connect it up. I don't really have too much too much thought that I do into these little junctions, but you know, it's whatever works for those ones. And then we can just go around this little farm, connect everything up. Shouldn't be too bad at all. I said we'll use a feeder, but actually these are so close that we might as well just skip the feeder and just have them be served by one station. And let me just move this over a little bit. And that'll give a little more variety to our early stations here. Alright, let's get some trains going this time. Since the last time the mic cut out, so I just scrapped that. Clone a coal train, clear out the orders. Do a control click, which I learned does the automatic full load. And we'll go down over here and have the unload and no loading. And let's see, how much are these actually making? Making pretty decent amount. It seems like all the industries in BSPI sort of have a standard base amount that they produce, I guess. We're going to need a lot of trains since they're traveling so far. Sure. How many is that? 8? Yeah, maybe. Whatever. Send them out. And now let's go and check our original station, see how they're doing. Yeah, so we are actually keeping up at this point, and we have a train waiting there. So oil is good. Coal seems to be doing good as well. In fact, we have 2 trains that are going to be they're going to be waiting soon. All right. And we'll go ahead and check our money as well. So that was a peak, dropped down a little bit. So I think, BSPI also places a lot of influence on the station rating. So when these trains are new, they're going to have really high ratings. This one has 90%, even though it's a really slow train. But because it's new, it gets that boost. But over time, it should drop down again, and that could potentially show up in our operating profit graph just because BSPI places so much influence on that. Wait, actually, this one is not keeping up at all. Let's see. Oh. We actually going to need to expand the feeders. Wasn't expecting to have to do that, actually. But it seems they can't keep up. I guess that makes sense since trains this early into the game are so slow. Let's go ahead. We can make this a combined station between the 2 lines. Just flatten this out a little. Put our little X in. Signal this up. So this might be a little interesting signal situation. I'm going to have a one-way path-based signal on this alternate line. Or actually that's a 2-way path signal, one-way path signal on the bidirectional line. And then we'll connect this down. Is that in the way? I can't really tell. Yes, that's very much in the way. So we'll just move this one over. Alrighty. Go a little bit further. Connect this up with a little diagonal X sort of thing. Get our path-based signal and signals in the other direction. And there we go. So this will let these trains share this platform over here. And let's get some more of these feeders going. Get 2 more, should be plenty. And on this side as well, I guess we're just not going to bother with the signals. So I'll just have 2 separate lines on this one. Since it's a little closer, 2 trains should be good. Yeah. And then this should... Got quite a few waiting now, so that should start, they should back up less. Hopefully. But I mean, it doesn't hurt that much if trains are waiting as long as they don't back up so far that they somehow block over here. So that's a non-issue right now. See how our new coal is doing. Got plenty of trains sitting in there. And I guess that might be the first one. Let's see. I guess we can't really tell. Yeah, that is the first train that just left. It'll take a very long time to get down over here. But that is one of the advantages of coal, because you can see from this map, or this graph, font's so small, that coal, compared to valuables, compared to valuables, like coal doesn't drop off very much. Looks like, I guess that's wood. Yeah, they don't drop off very much, so should be okay, but you know, it'll probably take more than 200 days to arrive. But when we get fast trains, that's not going to be a problem. We should probably go ahead and check our oil as well, if these ones can keep up or not. And it looks like they are able to keep up. See, how much can this one take? 120, so I guess this one actually isn't keeping up. So yeah, let's go ahead and just add another line on this feeder over here. And we'll just do 2 parallel lines. Doesn't really matter. 2 trains should be fine for now. And there we go. Yes, all right. And we'll do one last check over here on our drops. 2,000 coal weighting, and we have 4,500 units of oil weight. Actually, let me just let's go ahead and find the oil units, volume units. Go ahead and change that to cubic meters, so it'll get rid of those zeros. Yeah, so 4,400 units of oil weighting. I don't know how we can increase this production rate. I assume actually that we're going to need to start transporting the goods to get that up, but we'll see. I probably want to transport the goods up to the left across the map, probably. That would give us the most money in the long run when we get fast trains, but current trains are too slow, and also the goods drops off really fast. You can just control click that. Oh, I guess you can't do that. Here. Yeah, it drops off a lot. Anyway, let's just check. Here I forgot a signal to make sure that the extra track isn't reserved. But I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. Don't have any iron ore trains yet, but we're soon. Trains are journeying a very long way across the map to get some coal to that iron mill, or that steel mill. Let's see our operating profit doing all right, kind of stuck around 300k, I guess, every 2 months. I'm not really sure how that graph works, but higher is better, you know, that's all that really matters. Anyway, thanks for watching, and just like last time, any suggestions, feedback, comments, please leave them down below, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.